real talk, everybody makes weird faces. Now, we can talk about how to stop making weird faces in social environments, in social situations. But first, it's very important for you to know that everybody makes a weird face, so you're not alone. Now, maybe you're feeling like, oh, no, you don't understand. I'm making awkward faces, or I'm having like these weird tics when certain things happen. Okay, we're going to get into how to resolve that in a minute. But first, let's talk about the reason why we all make awkward faces and where it comes from. Generally speaking, it stems from two different places. One of them is from early childhood, and the other one is from our current social environments, the spheres that we find ourselves in, right? The different communities. So let's start with the ones that are like long, that we have a long history of. So for many of us, in order to be socialized, we were asked to act a certain way. We had to. Kids have to, they have to stop at some point growling and biting their friends and shout out at someone, scream or cry. We were told, stop, no more of that, at some point. This is something that we have to do in order to be socialized into society. But what ends up happening is because of those experiences, we end up holding a lot of tension in our face. Because if you're going to stop crying, how do you stop crying? Like, think about it. You're about to cry and you have to stop. You have to hold your breath. And then you got to tighten your jaw, clench your teeth. And then with your eye muscles, you have to hold back your tears, right? Also, it could be an anger thing, right? When you were like an angry little kid, you were told that you can't be angry. And same thing. It's just like, all right, let's say your common your common thing was to like go hang out with the boys and whatever, and you would be like, you would get angry a lot and you'd fight with the other boys in the playpen or whatever, and then you were told to stop, right? How are you supposed to stop that? Like physically, you're gonna stop it mentally, right? You have to stop it mentally, like I'm not gonna do this, but then physically also you had the reaction of tightening your back, tightening your arms, tightening your shoulders, and then also clenching your jaw. So many of the neurotic holding patterns that we have, so many of the traumatic moments that we've had involve multiple areas of our body. And interestingly enough, they all involve some type of facial neurotic holding pattern. They have to, because our face is our calling card. Our face is what we present to the world, is what people see. So if we don't want people to see a certain thing, we hide it. We hide it, and we hide it by hiding it in our face. And we'll explain that more about on this trajectory, where it's just like what you're commonly dealing with today. But also back in the day, when you wanted to hide your feelings and your emotions, what was going on within, you had to hide it and stop it, and you'd stop it in your face. You'd stop it in your body, but also in your face. So your face got used to holding a lot of tension. There's also the truth that young girls were told to many times be smiley, right? Be happy, calm, peaceful, gentle. So no matter what was going on inside, they had to hold a certain frame, certain character. Everything's okay, everything's cute, everything's fine. And that requires you to actively do something with your face. And if you're doing it often enough, it becomes chronic. It becomes tight muscles. Same with some boys, right? Some boys, especially if they were like single parent, like they grew up with like a single mom or something like that, they normally have a lot of that too. And they have a lot of the nice guy syndrome, right? Everything's okay. Everything's cool. Yep. Yeah. Nothing wrong here. And that takes a lot of work. Takes a lot of, oh man, right here. Takes a lot of muscular work to hold on to that face, right? To hold face. Sometimes men were also told, or young boys were told by men to be stoic, right? Don't show any emotions. And that also takes a lot of work. Right here. I feel it right here. Like down here, I gotta like tighten up my jaw muscles right down here, the hyoid muscles right here, to hold face, to be stoic. And then also your eyes, right? Your eyes, you can't be expressive. So it's so interesting how important your face is in general, because your eyes, they say, are the mirror, right? The mirror to the soul is your eyes, because people can tell so much about you in your eyes. So that sometimes that's why people don't want to look at other people in the eyes, because it's just like, oh, what are they going to see? You know, are they going to see the sadness, the pain, the anxiety, right? What do your eyes say about you, right? It's just like, do I have sad eyes, or do I have angry eyes, or what do my eyes say about me? So many times we don't want to look, and we want to like kind of conceal a little bit. Just notice, you know, it's just like, yeah, your eyes have to do a certain thing to conceal some emotions, and then also a lot of your face and your jaw. So we'll talk a lot about the jaw, and I have a bioenergetic therapy follow-along video series that works all up on the jaw to release these are called the masseter muscles, the hyoid muscles, and to really start releasing a lot of the tension in your jaw, because your jaw plays a big part of like in your scalp and your jaw. It goes into your neck. So releasing a lot of the jaw tension is going to be a game changer for so many people. And I think we all have, I could say like 99% of people have tension in their jaw, because of everything we just spoken about, all the different emotions that you were asked to conceal as a little kid, they got trapped in here. So a lot of us have tight jaws, and some people even grind their teeth at night, right? You know, they're grinding their teeth because they're holding on to it. Now, those are neurotic holding patterns, chronic tensions that have come from different traumatic experiences and being told to not do something that we like naturally felt like we were called to do from the internal parts of our body. What about this piece? What about this side where it's just like, all right, what about my situations right now? If you have situations right now where you've still got to hold face or save face, then you're adding layers on top of what you already have. If you have a boss that is annoying and is constantly chatting at you, and you haven't found a way to help him to pause, redirect, and move the conversation forward, let's say. If you haven't found how to do that, and you're sitting there and just taking it and saving face, clenching your jaw, holding face, trying to be expressionless in your eyes, holding different parts of your body in tension, then you're unwittingly putting yourself into a bad state, right? To a bad physical state. And you're kind of abusing yourself by allowing yourself to go through that experience. Also, let's say you're getting like bullied or something like that, or people are making fun of you, and instead of you like stopping that, straight up, making sure that ends, and you're just allowing yourself to take it, same thing. The way you take it is by holding on to tension and adding more tension on top of injury. Now, it's interesting because when we talk about stopping awkward faces or stopping weird faces, how are we going to do that? You know, how are we going to do that? And the funny thing is that we're going to do it by making awkward faces and weird faces. But we're not going to do it unconsciously in a social environment where something happens and we're like, or like scared face or whatever. I know like the weird faces that can happen, right? So what you're going to do though is through these bioenergetic therapy exercises, you're going to open up and release a lot of tension in your face and in your eyes. It's important that we do this, because if we don't do it, we're just going to continue on the cycle, and then it becomes a habit that every time somebody comes up to me or looks at me in the eye, I start getting that little twitch. So let's say your leg is tight, you know, like there's a muscle in your leg that is tight. My quads are tight. What do? You stretch, right? You stretch it out. Your face is the same thing. It's a bunch of different muscles, so you got to stretch it out. in the jaw. One of the exercises seems simple, seems a little crazy, but like it's just opening your mouth up really wide and breathing deeply in it, and then opening up your eyes too. So you do that for a minute, and you feel the release happening in your eyes, and then also in your jaw. Even just right there, I felt a little bit. It feels better now. It feels a little bit better right there. There's also different exercises that you'll be able to do yourself, where growl and let it out. Weird, like, yeah, you're making weird faces, but guess what? You're releasing a lot of the tension there and a lot of the trapped emotions that are stuck there in your face. It's gonna open up a lot of things, which is interesting. And this will be the last point that you're gonna probably find awesome, is that a lot of the work that we do on our face also translates to other parts in our body. Because there's an association with a traumatic moment that may have happened. Let's say like one of them that we already spoke about is like the anger. You stopped being angry. You stopped parts of your muscles from doing things. Like you didn't want to hit, like you didn't want to keep going. So you had to like tighten yourself up and be like, okay, I'm not gonna hit. But you also did that with your face too, right? By working on the muscles in the eyes and in the face, the masseter muscles, the hiatal muscles, by working this stuff out, it's also gonna start releasing muscles in other parts of your body, which is cool because they're through muscle memory, they're tied together. This is so cool. So you're gonna start working on parts over here, and then you may notice that like, oh man, there's like some hidden anger in here, and you'll start noticing that, oh man, my shoulders are tight. You'll start feeling more of your body. You're like, oh man, I gotta do some releasing on my shoulder too, and it's just gonna open up a higher way of you to be more spontaneous, more free in your body, but also in your mind and also in your social encounters. So how to stop making weird faces, how to stop making awkward faces, it's by doing these exercises, which require you to make awkward and weird faces. But then release a lot of the tension in your face so that you're not unconsciously making weird and awkward faces throughout all your social encounters. All right? So if you want to find out more about the jaw and how to work that out, I have a free video. It's a follow along video. So I'll show you the muscles to do in order to release the jaw. That's a big one. For other face muscles and the scalp and the eyes, I do have a full bioenergetic course that you can look at below, and maybe I'll give that out for free at some point too. It's very powerful. Also, like, what do your eyes say about you? How to transform the all the muscles in your eyes so that you're having peaceful eyes, right? And then like how do you say it? Exciting eyes. Like, I'm excited for life. It's peaceful and exciting, and as I see people, I'm seeing them not being so focused on like what's happening in here. I'm like, okay, I'm experiencing you, right? So we'll talk about that maybe another time. I should give that out. But all right, cool. For now, let's do the jaw exercises and let me know how that works. I'll leave a video at the end of this. And if you have any more questions about bioenergetic analysis therapy, if you have any more questions about the face and anything that I mentioned here, feel free to leave a comment below and I'll answer it as soon as I can. All right, cool. Great talking to you. I hope to see you again. Peace.